Okay, well, this is going to be a short presentation on the power of the GIF or GIF, as the internet insists it should be pronounced. My name is Rachel, and I will be your GIF guru for today. I have been in sales for nearly 8 years, and I just wanted to share over the next few minutes some things that I have found to be helpful and effective in the context of follow-up emails, particularly as over the past few years I've become more comfortable really being my full and true self in my interactions with prospects and prospective customers, versus feeling that I had to embody some kind of particularly quote unquote professional or serious demeanor in those interactions. I've come to feel that provided you are good at your job and you take the core components of your job seriously, you can be as fun and as silly as you like. And indeed, perhaps provided it's authentic to you, you could argue that the sillier, the better. So most of the example emails and templates I'm going to show you today are really things that I would use to follow up on an interaction. So if I'd actually spoken to someone, if I'd had what we would call a discovery call, I'm sure many groups and companies refer to them as such, if I'd done a demo. So where I have someone that has expressed some degree of interest and has expressed an interest that I keep in touch with them, versus completely cold outreach and follow-ups, where in the context of kind of cold cadence, I certainly do use humor, but I feel that at that very front end of the sales cycle, there does need to be a little bit more value and content and probably information about your company and what it is that you're offering in those very like top of funnel emails. Whereas the beauty of a follow-up, once you've actually spoken to someone, is that it is just that. Your email could literally read, "Hey, just following up." There isn't that much more to say. I know that you know, and you know that I know that I'm really just trying to get you to respond to my email. And so the power of the GIF. So before we get going, in terms of some of these funny emails that I've had success with, I just went through both my spam folder and my trash, as you can see here, and just picked out some very classic follow-up type emails, all of which are effectively saying, "I haven't heard from you. I'm still hoping to hear from you." So this one says, "Hi, I'm writing to follow up. Since I haven't received a reply, I assume you're either busy or haven't had a chance to reply." This one a little presumptuous. "May I send you a quote? Thank you." The next one, "Just following up on my previous email. Could you share your thoughts when you get a moment? Hey, I'm still waiting for your response. Can I send you a quote?" Now, these are probably particularly bad examples, but they paint the picture. Hola, Rachel. Still interested in exploring how our company could help VanillaSoft scale its development capacity. No pressure if things are hectic, but I did want to check if you'd had the chance to see my previous email and notes. "Hi, hope you're doing well. Just following up on my previous message. If you're interested, I'd be happy to give more information about our work, etc., etc. Looking forward to our response. Could you please let me know your thoughts on the proposal? Looking forward to your response." They're all effectively saying the same thing. These have all come from different salespeople at different companies, and they're all just the same. So I'm going to show you what my version of these emails might be in the absence of GIF-based humor. So, "Hey, first name, just following up on our demo last week. Have you had a chance to look at the email information that I sent you? Do you have any additional questions? I look forward to hearing." Sunshine emoji. That would be a fairly bland follow-up email in my voice and tone. "Hey, first name, me again. Just checking back a second time in relation to our demo on X date. I look forward to hearing from you once you've had a time to look over the requested information. I'm also on hand to answer any questions that you may have. Have a great week ahead of you." Cowboy emoji. "Hey X, hopes this finds you well. I wanted to pop you another email in relation to our demo last month. Is new engagement software still a priority for you? I look forward to hearing from you." Mailbox emoji. Hey X, bumping this to the top of your inbox once again. Have you been able to give this any thought since our demo last month? I'll continue to check in case it's helpful. Have a great weekend. Disco Man emoji. And so on, and so on, and so on. Your emails get lost in a sea of other salespeople following up with fairly bland follow-up emails. So I find that the GIF is a super helpful pattern disrupt in this context. Hey X, just popping my head around the door, and fat cat makes it through the cat flap. Hey X, bumping this in case it's helpful. Hey X, it's been a while. How are things? It's been 84 years. And you see, and I'll come back to this at the end, it is important that you do find it funny yourself. If this doesn't feel authentic to you, it's probably not going to work for you. But if you are giggling while hitting send, you're probably onto something. And again, I'm mostly using these where I've actually already connected with this person. They have some sense of who I am and maybe have a hint of what my sense of humor might be like. And so I think this is just a really human means of checking back with someone that, again, employs humor as the kind of primary strategy and approach. And I do think that humor is just the best strategy of all when it comes to trying to precipitate or elicit a response from your prospect. This one. This guy, no text at all, honestly had one of the best response rates that I've ever had from any follow-up email. Literally no text, just maybe it had a subject line of nudge nudge, but literally no text at all. And then you see here, excuse me, I have a little bit slow internet connection. The GIF, my prospect replies, "Hi Rachel, you got me with that gift. Ha ha ha. Are you available next week for a short demo?" Now, this is someone that I've been emailing for 10 months. I met their colleague at a conference in January who passed me on to another colleague who passed me on to this person. I had some initial engagement and then several months, no reply whatsoever. And it was this cat. This little cat that broke that pattern, that chain of ignored emails. So it can be so simple. And you've probably seen, like, I do tend to stick to pretty safe subject matter. Like, you can't really go wrong with a cat, a dog, a goat, maybe like a popular movie, something like very pop culture. We don't want to stray into any like particularly niche subject matters with this, but cats, dogs, goats, always your friend. This is one that I actually sent this week, which funnily enough prompted my participation in this training session today. The email that I had sent, I do a lot of work with universities. So the email said September 1 is 300 days away. But this email, what's that coming over the hill? Funny, I actually can't think of this actor's name. Ewan McGregor. Yep, you got it. Insert date is only X days away. That could be January 1, that could be fiscal year end, that could be the date by which your prospect maybe needs to renew or sign, or the date that they, whatever it may be, some relevant date. Don't say I didn't warn you. Again, there's not really like a call to action here. It's just another means of popping into that person's inbox and maybe cracking a smile. The response that I got a few ha-has. Like sometimes all that you'll get is a ha-ha, a laughing emoji response, but still, you're interacting. It's better than an ignored email. And actually, the response that I got was, "Hi, Rachel. First and foremost, your follow-ups are second to none. You could run a TED talk off how good you are at it." Now, again, the actual email that I got in this case was, it wasn't hugely positive. It was basically like, "We're not going to be able to move forward at this time." But this was the GIF that effectively broke the camel's back. It had been nearly a year of emails that this person had not responded to. And this was the GIF that actually managed to again break that pattern and elicit a response from my prospect in this context. So this is quite a cheeky one. I do think when using GIFs and humorous content, you can get away with being a little bit more direct, perhaps, than you would be able to if this was just a plain text email. The cheekiness allows you to get away with a little more and kind of point at the humor of the situation. In the context that like the cat and mouse game of sales really can be quite funny, and you know that I know and I that you know, and again, this is just it can be quite fun to kind of call out the elephant in the room with this type of choice GIF. This is another one that I sent recently. Sorry to say that fiscal year end is well on its way. I claim my cat as a dependent on my taxes. Can you tell? Are you guys any closer to a decision? Hey X, me again, knocking down your digital door. Hey X, it seems like this may no longer be of interest to you. So I'm going to take a little break at risk of becoming a pest. And actually, you can see it shared by a friend. So you can probably guess what the gift might be. We were on a break. But I'll be back in your inbox again before too long. Don't you worry about that. So again, you're kind of calling out the elephant here, but in a way that it's just funny. Like it's not an awkward breakup email. You're pointing fun, you're pointing light at this funny, funny quote unquote situation that you guys are in together. P.S. You know where to find me anytime. And a lot of this, again, I think it's just very humanizing. It's kind of a reminder, like I'm not just a digital entity in your inbox. Like I'm a silly human that's just trying to have an interaction with you. Hey X, thought it might be time for a checkup. How are things going over there? Um, there's not any more that you need to say. Like you can say so much with one sentence and a funny GIF. So, to infinity and beyond. Now, I'm going to repeat a little bit of what I've just said to wrap this up. But in my opinion, humor trumps everything. In this type of scenario, again, like I do think you maybe need a little bit more seriousness at the front end of the sales cycle. But in this no man's land of unresponded emails, like humor is your friend. I truly believe, and this is a bit of a controversial take and opinion that my boss might not love, but I believe that a well-chosen GIF will trump the majority of hyper-personalized, lovingly curated, value-rich follow-up emails when it comes to response rate. Humor really can be quite irresistible. As we've seen, GIFs do stand out in a busy inbox. Not that many salespeople are using GIFs. So, that's a them thing. And they do have the opportunity to brighten someone's day, or in my mind, like bring an unexpected smile to someone's face on maybe a rough Monday morning, which is just such a great thing. Um, they also, as we mentioned, allow you to be a little bit more direct. You can get away with saying a little bit more of what's actually on your mind when you use something funny to do so. And they kind of, point humor at the situation. They diffuse the message and make it kind of funny and silly. This does, once again, probably only work if it is authentic to you. Again, if you are giggling while kind of coming up with this silly little message and when you're pressing send. But if this is you and it does feel authentic to you, then to Giffinity and beyond.